Hey darlings, it's April Mason here again, your number one femininity and dating coach for the successful woman. And listen, I just had a conversation that inspired me to come share something else with you today. I'm on a roll today. 2 times in a day. So I'll wait for you guys to get on before I start talking and make sure that you get to hear everything that a sister has to say. Hi. Oh, I see you coming in. I'm looking at myself in this camera. Y'all, I'm looking more and more like my grandson. Baby Charlie's looking like his granny. I get to see my baby tomorrow. Get Granny's baby tomorrow. So this is what I want to talk to you about since I see you guys are coming in here. The conversation that I just had was very interesting. And it goes back to some of the things that I've shared with you before about what you believe. So I'm having a conversation, and the gist of it was, I want someone in my life, but X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. So y'all know me. I just sit here and I would just listen. I'm like, Here's the thing. Let me help you real quick, real fast. Until you are a vibrational match for what you want, you will never see it. So, example, if you don't believe that love is available, if you believe that there are no good men in your area, if you believe that all men want is just sex, if you believe that if you're an older woman that all men want is younger women, you're not a vibrational match for what it is that you say you want. And this is just not for relationships. This is in every other area of your life. If you feel like you're not smart enough to get the promotion, if you feel like your business won't be successful, well, you're not a vibrational match for success, okay? So ask yourself, what is it that you really want in your life? Whatever that thing is, you have to be a vibrational match for that. You're never going to see or experience a great man coming into your life until you change the frequency of the station that you're on. And I teach y'all this all the time. I don't want to sound redundant, but I got to beat it into your head until you get it. Okay? If no one ever asks you out, I get a lot of ladies, a lot of my clients, when they first come on board to coach with me, they're like, Miss April, but no, men really don't, nobody asks me out. Men don't ever approach me, because you're not a vibrational match for men that are actually looking to approach someone that has the vibrational stance wherever you are as you. That's just what it is. So you're not vibrating on a level to attract those type of men. It's just what it is. Same thing, fellas. If you keep attracting gold diggers, then you got to look at what is it that you're offering. If you're leading with your money and what you have, they're supposed to come after you. You're attracting that. So you can't be mad about what constantly keep coming in your life, but in a different package, unless you look at what you are vibrating at. It's just what it is. You will always attract at the state of where you are. Always. You will always attract at where you are, at the state of where you are. So having this conversation, I'm listening to this lady, and y'all know Miss Mason, she loves to help people, but I can't take but so much of the negative talk of what's not available. And all I can do is agree with you. If you feel like, you know what, I made a choice to, close myself off to love, I'm not here to talk you out of that, because that's your choice. Everything that you're doing is a choice. So if you choose to say, you know what, I've been through some things. I had not the best relationships, and I thought it was going to work, and it didn't. So I'm going to close myself off. I can't be mad at you about that. That's a choice that you're making. But you're making the choice. Your mindset is, yeah, I'm making the choice because you don't know what I went through. And I'm saying you're making a choice because of not only what you went through, but you're also making a choice because you have the ability and the right to choose which side you're going to be on. What it is. Just because you got hurt doesn't mean you have to choose to shut down. You can heal and keep moving. And just because you need to heal, it doesn't mean to take all day to heal. A lot of you are going through this pseudo healing process, and you're really not healing. You just think you are, because you're not doing the work. You're not picking up books. You're not taking classes. You don't have a therapist. You're not spiritually in tune. So you're never healing. You're just passing time. So then when you meet someone, you don't have the wisdom to decipher quickly, their intentions with you, because you're so excited to have somebody around at this point. But in your mind, I've gone through the healing process, or I'm healing because of the length of time, but you have not put any new information in. That's why for me, when I was dating, it was more, when I heard a man tell me the type of women, or I could hear the type of women that he's accustomed to dealing with, and I would ask him, so how won't you, what have you done so that you don't choose those type of women again? If a man would say to me, I'm just choosing not to date those kind of women no more, I wouldn't date him. Not because he might not have potential, but because he had not put in new information, so that he wouldn't psychologically need the drama, the confusion, the disrespect, the yelling, the screaming, and all that kind of stuff that he's been accustomed to, because I don't do that. And if he did not tell me he has been through some counseling and whatnot, I'm out of there real quick, because although you might want to change, you don't have the tools to change. You can't make new moves with the same information. It just doesn't happen. So being a match for what you want is so important. So if you're not seeing what you want in your finances, if you're not seeing what you want in your career, in relationship, even just dating, having a different pool of men to choose from. If you are continuing to attract men that are not what you say you want, it's because there's some things within you that you have not dealt with that's still attracting those. And whatever that thing you haven't dealt with is a more dominant vibration than what you do want. So you have to switch that. You have to switch that if you want to see something different. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I had to do myself. And I'd be like, wait a minute, why would he even, why did I even attract that? Well, what part of you that have you not dealt with that had a stronger hold and you held at a stronger vibration and feeling? That's the men that I would attract. And I would be like, what? I'm not even that person. But actually, the subconscious me was that kind of person. Because I told you guys in the past, I was emotionally unavailable, and I had a problem with commitment. I was like, no. But then I couldn't be mad if I met really nice men that had a problem with commitment. Because I would meet men that really, really like me. And I'm cool people. I think I'm pretty fun to be around. And so they would draw to that. But then I would withdraw. So I couldn't be mad when I met a man that was like pretty much everything that I wanted, but he would withdraw. I couldn't be mad at that. Wasn't that he was a bad guy. Wasn't that he didn't treat me right. That's what I was doing, and didn't realize that I had done that and created that strong momentum, that strong vibration. That's why it's easy for you to create bad in your life, because you've already been practicing those negative thoughts and your rebuttals to all of the bad things that happen. But when will you practice the excitement and joy of the good stuff with the same, what's the word I'm looking for? Momentum, with the same momentum as you do with the negative stuff. That until you change that, it will not happen. Until you believe that there are good men and good women in this world and there's somebody available to you, you'll never see it. You always talk about what isn't. And your experiences will only be things that will be self-fulfilling prophecies to what you believe. When you change the vibration, that's like, I live in Atlanta, right? And, we deal with the down low brothers type deal, right? If you are walking around in fearful of that, I'm not saying that you should not be aware, but if you walk around in fear of that, you will constantly attract that into your life. Although, once again, I live in Atlanta, and people say Atlanta is a hard place to date and all that. Yeah, I used to think that until I had a aha moment, and it was, wait a minute. If Atlanta is such a hard place to date, why are so many people getting married every week? It said the average wedding cost in Atlanta is over $32,000. Yeah, I hear some of you saying, well, a lot of people want the wedding and they ain't happy. Well, a lot of people want the marriage and they are happy. So let's not always make it like everybody that gets married is getting married for the wrong reasons. There's a lot of people that are actually getting married for the right reasons. So we can't live our lives like that. Terry said, that's why I don't want to live in Atlanta. Well, you don't want to live in Atlanta because with your mindset, you're going to attract exactly what you fear. Whatever you fear is what you will attract. I don't have a problem dating in Atlanta at all, and once I understood that, and I understood if I'm worried about the undercover gays, I'm going to attract that to me. Just like when I got married, I was so concerned about not attracting a man like my father. I subconsciously put so much energy and effort into that. That is what I attracted into my life. So I'm not worried about attracting a down low man. I'm not worried about that because my vibration and my fear is not that. I believe that there are some available, wanting to be husbands, loyal, honest, spiritually driven, emotionally available, emotionally mature, attractive, with positive resources, cash flow flowing in their life, that they have their life together. I believe that. So because I choose to believe that, like I could believe that, there's a bunch of down low that I'm scared of that and these men don't want nothing. That's something that I could choose to believe too. So like the video said, are you a match? If you are a match to your fears, you will only attract your fears. I learned that lesson the hard way. I learned it the hard way, you guys. So I'm not fearful of that. And so I had to look like, wait a minute, everything ain't in Atlanta. It can't be, because people get married. What'd you say, married? Enough gorgeous black men with positive cash flow. Been there, seen it. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. You can have a gorgeous black man with a positive cash flow, and he could also be wanting to be a husband, wanting to be a father, wanting to be a protector, wanting to be a provider. He can also be a spiritual man. He can also be a man of integrity, a man with character. It's not this or that, because I'm not willing to take this over that. No, he still got to be fine to me. He still have to have his money flowing in, whatever that means to me. And he still has to have all of the loyalty, the honesty, the spirituality, generous with his time. He still has to have all of that. So it's not this or that. So, and a lot of women, they don't know that you don't just choose someone based upon the fact that he got money and he look good. That's what's made a lot of our men not step up to the plate, because that's all that's been required. No, I require you to look nice to me and have some money and have some integrity and have some character and be spiritually grounded and be everything that April needs in her life. A lot of you are choosing one or the other, and it doesn't have to be that way. So it's all based upon what you are a vibrational match for. I'm not saying I just want a good man. Terry said money and looks don't mean anything. Money and looks can mean everything if the man has all of the other characteristics. A lot of men out there feel like money and looks is all that it takes. No. A woman naturally wants a provider, just like a man naturally wants sex. So a lot of men screaming, gold digger, gold digger. A lot of y'all ain't got no gold, okay? So let's quit that. It's just a natural thing. Even when you look at animals, the different species, we go for the providers. That's just what the female does. So that doesn't mean it's only that part. That's where a lot of you fellas get it twisted. You think I can only provide her that I look good, I make good money, and I can put it down in the bedroom. It's not just that. Now, for some women, it is, because based upon how men try to approach women and offer them, you could tell the women that they've been accustomed to, that's all, that they've been having to do. But an asset woman, a wise woman, knows that, yeah, I want a man with some positive cash flow coming in, as well as I want him to look attractive to me. I don't care if his body look like SpongeBob. If I think that's attractive to me, that's all that matters. But I also want him to have these other things. So if he has the money and he's attractive, but the other parts are missing, he still got to go. He still got to go. You can have the nice looks, the car, the money, the good job, but if you really ain't about nothing, mentally and spiritually, you still gotta go. So I'm here to say, vibrate higher, have a higher expectation within yourself, and rise up to meet what it is that you want. You can't keep saying, I want a man that's fit, and girl, he got to have a six pack, and I want him to have this and that and third, and your behind don't go to the gym. No. I want a man, that he's smart and he wise and he ambitious, and you're not. But once again, Latrina said you can have a pretty mess, but absolutely. But you can also have something pretty and good. So it's all, one of the things that I see quite a bit on social media is people will say, just because he look good don't mean he gonna be nice to you. It's almost like you can't have someone that looks good, someone that is, financially set, and he's a man of integrity and character. Why do we automatically think we have to choose? Who taught us that we have to have one or the other? Who taught us that? I get it. I was taught that. I don't know why, but no. Miss Mason won't date a broke man. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do it. Because when you vibrate at the level of what you want and you can match what it is that you say, why should you have to? So vibrate to to be a match for what you want. Whatever it is that you're seeing in your life, that's your indicator of where you at. It's just what it is. What you see in your life, the results that you're getting, is your indicator. So if you want to know, why am I attracting certain things, but I look like this and I drive this and I have this kind of car and this and I have this amount of money and all that. If your results don't match what you think you are, there's some self-work you need to do. Somebody said you can have it all, you have to be patient. I want what I want. Yeah, you have to be patient, but even patience is played out, because most people are sitting around being patient, but they're not actively manifesting. They're just sitting around waiting. They're not actively doing anything. So there's a lot of, I'm waiting on God, I'm waiting, but you're not doing anything to manifest anything. So the results in your life, if you're still waiting, if your results are still not, you can't see you moving towards something. If you think you've done your work and the same type of men keep coming to you, but in different forms, you're really not where you think you are. Because the results don't lie. The indicator is your results, period. What it is. So are you a match for what you want? Ask yourself that. I want you to ask yourself that question throughout the rest of the day. And matter of fact, throughout the rest of the week. Are you a vibrational match for what you want? If I want a man like this that puts me first, do I put me first? If I want a man that's not always busy, am I always busy? Ask yourself that. If I want a woman that's loyal, am I a loyal man? If I want an honest woman, am I honest? If I want someone with ambition, am I ambitious? If I want someone fit and I want her to have a nice body, what my body looking like? Your results are an indicator. So it can't be everyone else's fault. Okay? It's not always everyone else's fault. A lot of times it's us. So what will you do this week to become a vibrational match for what you want? What will you do today to become a vibrational match for what you want? No more using what's not available to you and where I live, and you looking at all of the negatives. I have clients, like, Miss April, you don't know where I live. There are no brothers where I live, and all the brothers want women that are not black and blah blah blah. See, here's the thing. When you think like that, that's all you'll see. You don't know if a brother's just happen to move to town. You don't know if someone comes to your city that you just happen to meet them and they're on a business assignment for the next year. You don't know that. So even though you might live in a smaller city and think that there's no one available to you, either do one or two things. Either manifest them to you or move. One of the two. It's really that simple. Manifest them by changing what you believe or move. It's really that simple. So I'm just saying, let's see what you say. Hey, April, like you, most people have to find that comfort threshold. It seems you have to go through something in life to not acknowledge what's always been there. A good woman is just that. Just like a man, growth is paramount. Insecurity keeps you. Yeah, absolutely. I used to think that way until I realized that I possessed the quality that I desired in a mate. I'm talking a lot, then you can leave. You watching a lot. So what does that say about you? I hate when people do that. No, I don't, because it helps me with my numbers. People that don't like when I talk, but they sit here and watch. That tells me how the type of person you are from a psychological standpoint. Anybody that would sit and listen to somebody that they say talk a lot has some psychological issues. Let's see what it says. Oh. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Have you begun to see the result of the type of men you wish to attract at this? Absolutely, Dion. That's why I can talk like this. Put it like this. Just because you don't see pictures doesn't mean there isn't anyone in the picture. Miss Mason never shares that part of her life. So absolutely, the answer to your question is absolutely. But here's the thing, I'll say this. I wasn't ready for my Mr. Right the way that I thought I was. Because if I would have gotten married the several times that I could have over the last few years, I would have ended up divorced again. Because there were some things that I needed to do. If I didn't want a certain thing in my life, I had to really deal with that. So yes, once I started getting myself together and understood that I am the creator of my life and my experiences, and I started doing the work that needed to change, even the men that approached me changed. That's how I started knowing when the type of men that approached me were a different breed. They were more in tune with the woman that I had started to become. So that was my indicator. Chrissy said, and her VIPers are meeting quality men every day too. Yes, if you're not a part of my Teach Me How to Date VIP Academy, you might want to join, because the ladies over there, they shocked, because it's like, oh my God, Miss April, he want to be exclusive. Yeah, that's what you've been trained to do, is to be the woman that will attract a man that want exclusivity. That's what you want. And they get a little nervous. I'm like, you can't practice what Ms. Mason teach you and not expect to manifest what you want, to the point that they have options. Quality options. And when a woman understands, and put it like this, when a woman becomes a vibrational match for what it is that she wants, she doesn't rush into locking down with anyone just because someone wants to lock down with her. She now knows she doesn't operate from a place of desperation. She says, you know what? The old me would have been happy that somebody picked me and chose me. But the new me, the me that I'm supposed to be, I've evaluated my life and who I am as a woman, and I need someone to match what it is that who I've become. So I'll wait on that guy. I'll actively manifest. But although I have quality options, if they are not a match for my purpose, match for the needs that I have, I will not enter into anything just because a quality man chose me. That's a different feeling when you have quality men chasing you. It's a whole different feeling, because now you don't have to just accept anything or anybody. It's like, what? I ain't know I had it like that. And so when you start to see that the work that you're doing is the manifestation of it is the type of people that you're attracting into your life, it's a whole different ball game. It's when you constantly see the same thing showing up and you frustrated in your dating life that you won't see that, which is your indicator that you're not a match to what you say you want. The indicator is when you start drawing it in, and it's like, oh my God, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When I switched it out and I started really doing the work, I got nervous because I started attracting all of these quality men that were like, wow, this is new. They didn't just look the part, they were the part. So I'm like, wow. And guess what? The reason that was because I no longer just looked the part. I was the part. So before, I just looked the part, but I wasn't the part. I looked and said I wanted a committed long-term relationship, but I was emotionally unavailable. Okay? What if you're just never content? Well, then that's something that you got to deal with. See, wise people know that when you meet someone that matches what you're looking for, oh, we're going to lock that in. That's all that is. A person that's never content has other issues. They have what I call the FOBO syndrome, fear of better options. Wise and mature people we don't do that. Once we lock in with you and say, you know what? I'm choosing to stop here. A person that's not content doesn't know how to make a choice to say, I'm stopping right here. Okay? And we also know that everything that we want may not deserve us if they have not done their work. So when you think from a different standpoint, your movements are different. And it's kind of difficult to explain. You have to experience it. You have to be in it to be able to see the difference in how you make decisions. People will say, you know what? Well, y'all women need to get married. No. We're not wise asset women. We don't get excited because someone chose us. That's not what we do. We look at our life and assess that individual to see if they match the work that we've done within to blossom into this amazing woman. So we don't just grab anything or anyone just because they want us. And every quality man and nice guy is not the one. It's not the one. So just because a man, you meet him, and it's like when you start meeting a lot of quality men that are looking to settle down, that's a different pool to choose from, when you have that. But every one of those won't be the match for you. So every good guy is not your one. You have to look at personality. You have to look at where you want to go in your life and purpose. All of those things take into account. But the difference is your pool has changed. You're no longer picking from jokers that are not consistent. They don't put in effort. They don't pursue. They don't really, they give feeding you crumbs. We've all had that pool of men to choose from. What will you do when your pool is of quality candidates? How will you respond then? It's totally different. Wise women know that although you have that pool, I don't have to just grab one of those because, oh, Lord have mercy, it's some good men around. You know why? Because we don't have a lack mindset. We believe that there are good men in abundance everywhere. Everywhere. When you're in tune spiritually, you operate differently. You operate differently. So it's a learning process, but you have to be a vibrational match for whatever it is that you want. If I know I cannot be with a man that goes to church, especially one that go to church and he's not spiritual, because spiritual don't equal relationship. Religion don't equal relationship or going to church. So I already know that. So because of that, I had to even switch out what I asked for and said, I want, send me a spiritual man who's in tune with his spirituality and who can lead from a spiritual place. I had to change that because on my list before I had, God, he got to be God-fearing and go to church. Well, that's off my list because most people aren't spiritual enough to even be in tune to even know what the Creator is downloading to them. So I was religious, but I wasn't spiritual. So I would constantly meet bad guys that represented church and God. But here's the thing. I was that same way because I had the look of it, but I did not have the spirituality within. So I was a vibrational match for exactly what it is that I was. I look nice on the outside. I knew how to say, won't he do it? And I would meet guys that were supposed to be God-fearing, but were still trying to sleep with me, still lying, still manipulating and all of this stuff. So they had the image of it. I had the image of it. So why would I expect to attract anything different? So I had to check God-fearing and church-going off my list and put a spiritual man. I don't need my man sitting in the pulpit or in the pews, especially if he don't have any connection and relationship. No, we don't need you. No, I don't need that. But once again, I was a vibrational match for the image of it because I was the image of it. I had no spiritual bone in my body, but I had the image of it. So that's what I mean. Look at your life and look at what you're constantly attracting, especially in the relationship area. And if you're a person that says, this is what I really want, what is it that what is it that you have not become? Because that's all it's really about. What is it that you have not become? And so the indicator, darlings, is your results. That's the indicator. So what you gonna do about it? Your assignment this week is to see what you've been matching to. Write it out on a piece of paper. Over the last 10 years, I've attracted this. It seems like every year, these are all the type of people that I keep attracting. So what is it in me? I look at what they brought. Let me see within me. Am I a faker? Do I show only my representative, but then get mad when somebody show me their representative? Am I faking it? Gotta ask yourself them questions. So you have to be a match for what you want. Be it a job, be it money, be it health, be it a relationship, or whatever else. So when I understood that concept of, wait a minute, I'm attracting people who are like the person that I didn't want to address. Ooh. I didn't want to address my raggediness, so I'm still attracting that. But it comes in a package that looks like what it is that I want. Benny said everybody he attracts is crazy. Well, Benny, baby, you might got a little crazy, Check your level of crazy. But then again, they might match your level of crazy and y'all can go ahead and be crazy together. Go ahead and be crazy together, Mr. Rogers. Just because you crazy don't mean that you can't be in a relationship with another crazy individual. Y'all know exactly how to deal with one another on y'all crazy levels. So doesn't mean you can't be in a relationship. Y'all would do exactly fine. You do fine together. So gotta go get my reservations for my food, my dinner, early dinner today. But I wanted to share that with y'all. Are you a vibrational match for what you want? If you keep saying what's not available and what you don't see, then you're not a vibrational match for what you want, what you claim you want. You're a vibrational match for what you don't want. How long are you going to stay in a vibrational match for what you don't want? And a lot of it, to be honest with you, I think a lot of it is, you just punking out. We just punk out. And we just use that as an excuse to not deal with self. Stop punking out. You want a husband. You want a wife. You want to be booed up. Stop playing. I do, but I ain't got time for these men. Stop all of that. Stop living in the karma. Stop working on you and just be. When you gonna just be? I'm trying. Trying is just another way to say you fail gracefully, okay? And that's what I taught my children growing up. Mama, I tried. No, you just tried to fail gracefully. That's all you did. So quit the trying. Quit the I'm working on me. Just be. I know, Benny. Y'all, one of my closest friends, comedian Rodney Perry, told me, April, you would have found you a good husband a long time ago if you had more crazy in you. Hey, Derek O'Neill. Derek, you looking for a wife? Now, Derek, can I say that, D? I won't say it. I won't say it. Derek is looking for a wife. What? I might have to hook you up, because I know you, Mr. O'Neill. I ain't going to say it, D. But people who read my book, they just didn't know that I was talking about you. Now they're going to go get the book. Tell them the story. Do we want me to tell them the story, D? Do you want me to tell them that story? He said, tell them the story. Okay, I'll tell y'all the story about Mr. O'Neill real quick. Mr. O'Neill, we met years ago. That was about 99, about 2000. I give y'all a little bit of piece of the story. If you read my book, Broken But Not Bound, you know the story. This is about Mr. O'Neill. Derek was this sexy, we went in Walgreens. He was this sexy, very well-spoken, attractive, had his stuff together, good job. I remember back then you drove that, you had that little Acura Legend red. I remember that. And we met in Walgreens and he finessed me, took me to dinner, y'all. And he ordered my food, I'm like, okay. And I ain't know nothing back then because I was young. I'm like, okay. So what had happened was, Derek had all the women. Since he said I could tell the story, I'm going ahead and tell the story. Now he done growed up. But Derek had all the women. When I say all the women, all the women. And one day, his pager was just constantly going off from just females. Well, Derek, what you didn't know, I don't know if I told you, you used my phone to call your pager back, and I called it back and heard all about 20 different women on your voicemail. I don't know if I told you that part. So I was like, oh, he got all the women. So I remember one day D came by the house and I was getting ready to go out with my girls, and we had a situationship. Was what we had, because I was in my early 20s. And I'll never forget the look on his face. And when I told him, he said, so he asked me a question, and I said, what you say? I'm right. I know, I'm telling the truth. I'll never forget. He said something to me because I was getting ready to go out with my girls, and he said something about something, whatever it was. I looked him dead in his eye and I said, hey, you're only here for extracurricular activity. Be here by 10, be gone by 12. I'll never forget, he had that Motorola phone, the big flip ones. He sat on my couch, picked up his phone, called his boy and said, I'm sitting here picking up my face because this girl said I'm only here for extracurricular activity. And that night, he kept he kept paging me. And I'm like, I'll get to you when I get to you. And that was that. And so we ran into each other maybe about 4 years ago on a dating site, y'all. And I saw the name. I'm like, I know him. And then I think I replied with, I know you. He said, where I know you from? I said, be here by 10, be gone by 12 or something like that. And we ended up going to have breakfast and we talked about that. And he said, to this day, a woman has never did that deal. But now we grown now. And Mr. O'Neill is a very successful app developer now. I'm just saying, y'all, this was back in was it 99 or 2000? But yes, honey. Mr. O'Neill is looking for a wife now out there in the Bay Area, out there down in that Silicon Valley, making that money with all them apps and everything that he got. What's the name of your app, D? Put your app in the comment section. I'll allow you to leave your link, darling. But I wrote about it in the book before. That's when Miss Mason was emotionally detached, and I could say things like that. I'm a lady now. I don't operate in that manta anymore. But those were the good old days. But D had it going on. When I tell you D had women, I was like, oh, I want a mini, so I'm about to treat him like he ain't ish. I'm treating you like you a job, because that's all you was, a job. And to this day, you know, when we talk about or laugh about it, it's like, he's like, I ain't never had a woman tell me that. Yeah, be here by 10, be gone by 12. Yes, Motorola Flip, I don't think they make them anymore. No, Troy, so you know it was a long time ago. It was one of them big gray ones. And you know he was making a lot of money back then, so everybody wasn't able to have them kind of phones. So, you know, he finessed. He would come over smelling all good in the little red Legend and doing all, you know, I think he was working for Coca-Cola, looking all good in the Coca-Cola truck. And you know, ladies, if brother know how to talk to you, he knew how to talk to me, and he knew how to say what he needed to say. What'd you say? You ready for me now? Oh, I'm not. Yo, we got to go. No, the question wasn't, am I ready for you now? It will be, if you ready for me now. I ain't the same April from 1999, from 2000, what, honey? What I always loved about Derek was this. He was always honest. He was, I mean, even if you didn't want to hear the truth, he will always tell it to you so you don't have anything to say. Anything to say. And it's like, did you just tell me that? Yeah, I just told you that. But y'all say he ready now? Mr. O'Neal, don't you start with me on this Facebook Live, because I got memories, honey. I got memories from my 20s, darling. But I got to say, he was the first man to ever order my food for me. He said, what would you like? And I said, well, I think I want this. And when the waiter came, she'll have this, that. Yes, Benny, he's brutally honest. It's the only way. Yeah, he's brutally honest. So you could never say you didn't know what was going on. I'm just saying. Is it what you said? We have a love connection on Facebook. Whatever. I ain't fooling with y'all. But I gotta go. I gotta go have my denta. But we'll talk, D. We'll talk. Talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye.